Hi, and welcome back to Show Me UX. I'm Bill, a user experience designer, and in this video, I'm going to cover the basics of using Boolean selections in Figma. Let's get started. Boolean selections, sometimes called Boolean operations or Boolean functions, are common features of vector-based design tools. If you are familiar with Adobe Illustrator, for example, you may have encountered Boolean selections before. Boolean operations cause layers to interact in a non-destructive way that results in a new group that Figma treats as a single shape layer. Because this is a non-destructive action, the layers aren't flattened or permanently combined, so they can be altered at any time. Boolean functions can be applied to shape and type layers and vectors drawn with the pen tool. Because Boolean selections occur between two or more layers, I've added a series of shapes to the canvas to illustrate each Boolean selection type. To illustrate the Boolean selection types, I'll start by selecting Ellipse 1 and Rectangle 1. With these two shape layers selected, I notice at the top we now have access to the Boolean groups dropdown, and when clicked, we'll see that we have access to the four Boolean selection types, which are union, subtract, intersect, and exclude. For the first example, I'll go ahead and select Union Selection. And as we can see in the left sidebar, the two layers, Ellipse 1 and Rectangle 1, have been combined into a new group layer called Union. The name of the group layer is based on the type of Boolean selection, and it is given an icon based on the type of selection. The Union selection creates a composite of the layers. In other words, it is a sum of the layers. For union selections, fill and stroke properties of the topmost layer are given to any layers beneath it. Now, let's take a look at the second Boolean selection, subtract. I'll select Ellipse 2 and Rectangle 2, and I'll select Subtract Selection. And again, as we can see in the left sidebar, we have a new group layer called Subtract, a new icon, and if we click the down arrow, we'll see the two layers here. The Subtract selection removes all layers from the bottom layer in any area that overlaps. Because the bottom layer is what remains, its fill and stroke styles also remain. Now, let's take a look at the Intersect selection. I'll select Ellipse 3 and Rectangle 3, and from the Boolean Groups menu, I will select Intersect Selection. The Intersect selection results in a layer group showing only the area where the child layers overlap. Also note that the area has assumed the fill and stroke style of the topmost layer. Next, let's look at the last Boolean group, Exclude. I'll go ahead and select Ellipse 4 and Rectangle 4, and select Exclude Selection. Exclude Selection removes the area of layers where there is overlap. While the names of Boolean selection types may be difficult to memorize, their iconography in the Boolean group dropdown indicates what the result will be. The white part of the icon indicates what will remain after the Boolean operation is performed. Additionally, you may have noticed that union and subtract are related, as are intersect and exclude. They can be understood to be opposites of each other. And that's all there is to Boolean selection in Figma. I hope you liked this video. If you did enjoy the content, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.